tells all about Sergeant Dee Dee McCall.
Vegas, Mike Hammer, Knots Landing, and just about every other show on TV before she landed her own series. Please welcome Sergeant Dee Dee McCall from Hunter, Stepfanie Kramer. Stepfanie. Now, Stepfanie, on the show, you play this tough cop. You gotta go out there and give guys a hard time. Is it easy to intimidate guys when you're Sergeant Dee Dee?
Sergeant Dee Dee.
Sergeant.
I never liked that name. Like Dee Dee. No offense to anyone who may be named Dee Dee, but we don't call ourselves by the first name on that show. It's strictly Hunter and McCall. It's the Hunter and McCall stuff. So, yeah, I don't think that enters into the picture.
So you never have to.
No, I don't say you're under arrest and my name's Dee Dee, by the way.
So now I read that you're single and you're working all the time. Do you ever have time to have a social life? A social life?
What are you doing there, Will?
I don't know. Sometimes I find my hands moving. I don't know.
I can guess. No, not really. The show's like 9 months out of the year, and it's 12 to 14 hours every day, Monday through Friday, of course. So. Pretty tough.
So you have no time to do anything?
Well, I do have some time to do some things, and most of those things I won't discuss on the show.
Well, I think we've got somebody backstage that will discuss them if you don't. Now, tell me about it. We were talking a little bit. Somebody said that you had a real bad dating experience once.
Oh, I did, yes. Oh, it was like a nightmare date. It's like the worst nightmare come true. I was, oh gosh, I guess I was about 15. And I was going with this boy, he was 16. He comes to pick me up to go get ice cream. You know how you go get some ice cream. Oh, won't that be wonderful? So he gets in the car, and we're driving along to go get the ice cream.
Well, at 15, we're going to get some ice cream?
Oh, yeah, well, I was 15. I was, what can I say?
I think you were a perky 15.
I was sweet 16, never been kissed.
Oh, really? Now, where'd you grow up?
Out in Chatsworth.
Oh, so
out in Chatsworth,
LA,
yeah.
LA,
So we're driving along to go get our ice cream, and all of a sudden, these lights come on from behind the car. It's one of those unmarked police cars. And he says, oh, gee, they're pulling us over and get a ticket. And I said, well, gee, I didn't think you were going that fast. And he's getting really upset. I mean, this guy's like tensing out, freaking out. I said, relax. He'll write you up. You get a ticket. It'll be all right. He goes, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. I've got 13 outstanding warrants from tickets. And I thought, great. So we pull over, and the two guys come out. And they have their badges and their guns and stuff, and they knock on the windows, and are you with so-and-so? He says, yes. You live at such and such? Yes. He says, well, you have to get out of the car, please, because you have 13 outstanding warrants. Well, he is getting so tense and so nervous, and I'm sitting there saying, relax, relax, do what he says. He gets out of the car, and when he turns him around and starts to frisk him down, this kid freaks, and he turns around, and he grabs the cop's gun. And he points it at him, and he starts screaming bloody murder. I'm going to kill you, And I'm in the front seat thinking, man, I just wanted an ice cream. And he gets these guys all the way back to their car. I mean, the hands are up, and he opens up the front door. By now, I've gotten out of the car, and I'm standing there in absolute shock.
You're thinking, I'm not going to date this guy beyond
No. And
this is our last date.
This is it, right here. And he lays him down the front seat. He fires twice. And he takes the gun and he throws it off into a field and comes running back to me. And I'm standing there, and he grabs me and says, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. You got to get out. I said, time out, big guy. Wait a minute. And he says, what day is this? I said, I don't know. It's Tuesday. He says, no. What's the date? I said, well, it's April 1st. He says, April Fool. Yes.
Oh.
True story. He set the whole thing up. That was a nightmare date. No looking. When my mother found it, she didn't like this guy too much. You know what I mean? I think he wound up being a producer here in town.
Now, that's a pretty elaborate practical joke,
You're
I
not
guess.
kidding. Well, it's a sick mind for you.
So now, so I guess, so you guys quit dating a couple of years later.
We did, yeah. I gave yes.
Now, what else do you like to do? Somebody says you love to sing.
I do, yes. Well, I am a singer. I've always been a singer. I was trained classically as a mezzo-soprano, but I decided a long time ago I really wanted to pursue recording, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working with Mike Post, and he's my producer, and we're putting together tracks for my first album. So that's something I'm really...
I look forward to that. Now, because of the show, somebody said wherever you go, you always seem to get some mob scenes going or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not intentional. It's like, oh, I think I'll have a mob scene. You know, that's just a strange
just
sort
happens to you.
of...
Now, what happened in New York? Somebody said there was...
Yeah, I was in New York just last year, shopping. What else? And I was, I'm one of those women, yes. And I was with my mom at Trump Tower and just got wild. These people just came out of nowhere and literally engulfed us. And I guess they just liked me and liked the show, you know, and they were rather exuberant about it all. But it was a little overwhelming when you don't anticipate it, you know, and it was a little scary, too, especially when my mom started sort of getting sucked off into this crowd. And
she's probably saying, you should have married that guy. We wouldn't be in this trouble today.
Yeah. So that was a little different to contend with. It's happened... You know, the show is real big in a lot of areas of the world, and one area in particular is the Far East. And I didn't know that until I got there, that they told me, the Government Information Office and stuff, that I was one of their top stars in that area. And in Singapore, for example, it was just wild. It was nonstop. You know, I'd find myself literally running down the street, chased by all these little people. You know, and I'm like, whoa! You know? I'm just thinking, wow, and it was just wild. It was wild. I'd come back into the hotel room, and all of the maids and the housekeeping staff and everything would bring me all these gifts. It was lovely, but you want them to make your beds, you know what I mean? Not put stuff on the bed, and it was just everywhere. And they called me up in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning. You know, we're very big fan of yours. And I'd say, well, that's great, but, you know, I'm trying to sleep.
Now, you and Morgan go, you went to Bali, and we have some videotape.
Oh, no, now, wait a second. This tape, now, I have not seen it. I went on this tennis tour to the Far East, and which was a thing in itself because I had never played tennis. You know, I said, sure, I'll go. Oh. And I decided to go out and take lessons, and I took 11 lessons. And I did pretty good, actually. I made it to the semifinals in Singapore. And one of the stops was the island of Bali, which... You know, at this time was like 120 degrees, and we drove around in the jungle, a group of us in this Jeep about this big, drinking lots of bintang, which is the local Indonesian beer. And so after, you know, a few miles of bintang in the jungle, we are feeling no pain, you know. And we said, hey, that's a great idea. Let's stop at the monkey forest. I said, great, monkeys, I love them, they're great. Well, monkeys are not so cool when they're wild, you know. And I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this tape. So I don't know what this, I can only imagine what this looks like. Lots of bintang in the jungle, you know. But these monkeys were...
We're giving you a hard time.
This was Morgan Brittany's home movies.
All right, well, let's roll the videotape and take a look at Morgan Brittany of Dallas and you in Bali.
You're so brave.
So now what do we do? This is...
Well, yeah, you think they're supposed to be tame. Don't they look like nice and gentle? Like no problem,
Well, that doesn't look
right?
like it's giving you a hard time. It's actually fixing your hair.
Well, as soon as I got there, one of them jumped on my back and tried to steal my video camera.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. I mean, it was like trying to wrestle with me. So there, now, would you like to have that on your head? And that's her husband, Jack, trying to get me to, that's me with the video camera. I salvaged it.
The monkey took your video camera away?
Well, he tried to.
Nope.
And then, now here's the monkey. Look.
Oh!
What a nice guy, huh? And I'm really glad you cut then, because then I said something very nasty to that monkey.
Well, for those that didn't see it, let's look at that again in slow motion and see if we can read her lips. I think...
No, my back's to the camera, thank God.
Here it is. Let's watch this monkey.
Here
Apparently this
comes
monkey
that
hadn't
hard
seen
left. How you doing? I was being real nice, and he went, boom.
Oh, Stepfanie. A terrible
I didn't
trip.
like that banana. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take a little commercial break here and come back with more of the show after this. Don't go away. Hello there, we're back, and, well, we've run out of time, but I want to thank everyone who is here for being part of my show. Stepfanie Kramer, thank you for being here. Good luck with Hunter.